Welcome to the Frinton Gospel Chapel Midweek Thought. In the chapel newsletter at the weekend, I said, I've stopped counting the weeks since we were first told to stay in our homes. I don't know that I explained myself very well or what I meant. What I didn't mean was that now that our government has said that things can ease a bit, that this would mean that I could do whatever I liked and go wherever I wanted. What I was trying to say was that I was still accepting that the situation we were in was to be under careful control, and that we were to be very careful what we did, and we were to still stay in our homes and to be protected as far as possible from catching this virus which is sweeping across the world. And what I was trying to say also was that in order to do that, then I needed to be content. And this is what Paul said to the Philippians, and it's something that I've mentioned previously. He says this, I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. So when I said I'm not counting the weeks, what I was trying to say was I'm not going to let that be a burden and say how many weeks I've been locked up in my house or how many weeks it's going to continue, but I'm just going to accept it and endeavour to live it out. Because Paul says, he went on to say, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. How could Paul say that? How could he be so confident in any circumstances, whether he was free to go and visit churches, to travel across the known world, to be in prison and in chains? How could Paul say that I can do this through him who gives me strength? Well, this is what Jesus says in Matthew chapter 11. He says, come to me, all ye who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Now there's quite a lot to take in those one or two verses that Jesus says about himself and our relationship with him. But I believe, and this is what I think Paul was saying when he says, I can do this through him who gives me the strength, is that if we are yoked with the Lord Jesus Christ, if we are with him, then we will be content because he will be caring for us and he will be looking after us. But one thing is sure, and that is that he says that he will give rest to our souls. Our souls are the bit within us, our body and our souls are the bit that does the thinking, that has the emotions, that worries, that frets, that can be content. And that's the bit that Paul was talking about in his life, and that's the bit that the Lord Jesus Christ is talking about in yours and my life when he says, come to me, all ye who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. But you see, to be yoked to the Lord Jesus Christ means that we are with him and he is with us. But to do that satisfactorily and do that to the utmost means that Jesus Christ is the one who will be leading. He is the person that we are yoked to. He is leading and he is guiding. When we go our own ways and when we decide to do things the way that we want, then we're doing one of two things. One, we're not yoked to the Lord Jesus Christ. We're completely independent. Or two, we're endeavouring to pull the Lord Jesus Christ in a direction that we want to take and he says is not for us. And if he is then saying, I'm taking you back into the right way, then it can be painful. But if we're moving with him and moving in the right direction, then he says, the yoke that I give you will be easy. That doesn't mean it's simple. That doesn't mean it's straightforward. What he means is that when the yoke is on us and when the yoke is on him, it fits comfortably and it fits properly. That's because he cares for each one of us, and he takes each one of us into consideration into the way that we should be living our lives for him. If we decide to go off in our own directions, then it can be very painful, and often we're reduced to a situation where we can do nothing and we have to come back to the Lord Jesus Christ and say, I really have got this wrong. I've messed up. Will you help me to put it right? But we are willful people and we do things in the way that we want to do. Way back in the beginning, Adam and Eve decided that they would eat from the forbidden tree, from the fruit from the forbidden tree, because they wanted knowledge. And God said to Adam and Eve, from now on things are going to be different until there is such a time when I will restore my desires and my plans upon you. But that choice will still be yours. It will be the way that you choose. What path have you chosen to follow? Have you chosen the Lord Jesus Christ? To be yoked to him, to be walking with him, to be walking at ease, to be walking comfortably, because his burden is light. He takes the strain. If we go off in our own ways to make our own decisions in our own ways, then we get stressed, we get worried, we get concerned. But when we're with him, he takes care. That doesn't mean it's straightforward, doesn't mean that all things are going to be just everything in the garden's lovely. It means that we have somebody who is there with us each moment of the day. So I come back to it. I'll stop counting the days. Have you stopped counting the days and the weeks that you've had to be confined to your homes? Because I want to be content in all things, and I want to do his will, and I want to serve his purposes in the way that he intends. He has his plans for me. He has his plans for you. Are you willing to listen to him, to follow him, and to be at one with him, so that we can say, I can do all this through him who gives me the strength? Does he give you the strength day by day? Do you turn to him? Are you yoked comfortably and easy to him, so that he takes yours and my burdens day by day, moment by moment?